If you say, because I mean, everybody we want to see that this killings end and there's peace, and then people go about their businesses peacefully. Everybody wants to see that. But when you say that you want it to be private sector led, we understand that the government is going to provide 80% of the funding, the state to provide 20%, and then provide the land.
Yeah.
How is that going to be private sector led?
The government have not released any cover for that purpose up to this moment, but we don't know since we have not been admitted into the program. But certainly we have been working very hard to see that because our people are mostly transhumans and that we have this vision to create an economic nucleus around livestock. And of course, all the value chain that we can get around livestock, the blood, the horn, the skin. And of course, we will try more to cultivate that culture in our people, while at the same time bringing the Fulanis in one fold and try to arrest their traditional practice of moving from one place to the other. And that is very big, an uphill task. But I think we can communicate with them more, because to them they don't have borders from Cameroon to Nigeria.
But that's the thing, Excellency. How do we ensure that those who will be participating in this federal government largely funded program will be Nigerians?
In terms of the funding?
No, in terms of
the operations.
Operations. You said to bring in the Fulanis together. We have Fulanis from other countries.
The issue
well.
of misconception, I see there is a lot of mistrust and misconception with regards to the Fulani man. The Fulani man is a global or an African person. He moves from the Gambia, from Senegal, and his nationality is just a Fulani man. And as a person, I may have my relations in the Cameroon, but they are also Fulani men. I have relations because from the maternal side, I'm a Fulani man. And that is why we want to educate people. A Fulani man sees himself as a Bayelsan, as somebody coming from the Niger Delta, because he speaks the Niger Delta language, which you and I don't. And of course, we would have to just take this as part of our own heritage, something that is African, and that we cannot just close the border and say the Fulani man is just a Nigerian or this. No. In most cases, the crises are precipitated by those outside Nigeria. When there is a reprisal, it is not the Fulani man within Nigeria that causes it. It is that culture of getting revenge, which is embedded in the tradition of the Fulani man, that attracts reprisal from all over the world.
If I understand, does that mean that those Fulani men who are maybe domiciled in other countries, who move around, they can come into the country and this plan will accommodate them as well?
Yes, that's what we want to do. But it has to be done through sensitization, telling them you have to buy in the project, and you use the language, the culture itself to be able to convince them, away from the mistrust where the whole system of transhumance or pastoralism is criminalized. Criminalization of pastoralism is the problem that we have with this project. And it requires people with passion who understand them and who they believe in, people like us from that part of the country, to say, yes, we have this. Because today, there is no limit to the accusation that this and that has happened and it is the Fulani man who caused it. There is no tribe that is not, that you don't have this criminality in. But certainly, the way and manner we do it is really exacerbating the crisis and the problems.
Will there be any form of documentation of all the people that will be,
yes, we are
within that?
Oh yes, that is going to give Nigeria the opportunity to really have the best in terms of documentation in the demographics. Because, as I said, the Fulani man settles anywhere he can feed his cattle. And so, if they are put in one place and they are made to understand that this is to save them and their animals, they are exposed to the vagaries of the forest and what is going on, cattle rustling, killings and what have you. And that's why it is important for them to understand that staying in one place is good. And of course, in terms of the best practice of carrying the meat, the cows and the
let's stay with that security angle for a bit. Is there going to be, this plan going to be a fenced enclosure where anyone who comes in is secured, so there is no one that can just come in from anywhere else.
No. It is going to be a colony, and a colony does not require a fence.
You will
It is not
understand
going
the
to be a
reason.
prison.
You will understand the reason why people are concerned, because of all the security issues that have been happening over time. So if that's
these forests are there anyway. If you don't occupy them and create a colony out of them, they create places for the criminals. And today, that's why you have the Sambisa forest, because it is not being utilized.
But Your Excellency, much as yes, I mean, they're fantastic. We have met a lot of them who are Fulanis as well. But the concern too is, why should federal government use resources for this country to accommodate Fulani men who are not Nigerians?
You see, as I said, we are already accommodating them. Do you delineate and then really know who is not a Fulani man from Nigeria? They are all Nigerians, because I said their identity, their own citizenship is Nigerian, even though we have relations all over the world, all over Africa. And so, presumably, they are Nigerians.
Once in a while, it's good to revisit and visit old videos like this of the people who actually structured the whole Fulani movement. So, which is Bala himself and many others. Gumi, who calls himself a sheikh. You know, it's good sometimes to listen to them talk, so that you can really get to understand what their plans are for Nigeria. So he said they are Fulanis by nationality. So if you ask them, where are you from? And they're going to say they are from Fulani, or they are Fulanis. So I don't know. Probably the Fulani should have their passport with Fulani written on it, so that we clearly understand. So, because from his explanation is that they don't have to be Nigerians to be Nigerians. They can come in, do whatever they want, and get taken care of by the government and do anything. So, because now in the north, you have a lot of people who are homeless. They are Nigerians. No one is able to take care of them properly. Kids are not going to school. It's a whole lot of chaos around there. They haven't been able to deal with that. And yet they're talking about bringing people who are not Nigerians to become Nigerians and set a welfare for them where they can be taken care of. All around Nigeria, there is high rate and high level of unemployment. They haven't been able to tackle that. But yet they want to bring in people who are not Nigerians to take care of them. Again, so what is the meaning of this? What is the purpose of all of this? It's definitely for a reason. So let's imagine that every tribe in Nigeria decides to go out to bring people, automatically to call them their brothers and sisters. Are we still going to have a country called Nigeria? It's going to be chaos. It's going to be, everything is going to be scattered, basically. No country in this earth works like that. So these people think that, he said something that, they are already in Nigeria. So which means that if you do not make provisions for them, then they can start doing things like they are doing now, banditry, kidnapping, and all of that. So does he think that it is only the Fulanis that have monopoly of violence? He should be aware, or they all should be aware, that it's been the Fulanis attacking the other parts. The other parts haven't really retaliated. Gumi said something in one of his videos where he said that they always attribute the killing to Christians. That if truly these terrorists are killing just Christians, that the whole Christians in the country would be finished. So, and it made me laugh, because the same Christian that you're talking about, they haven't even started to fight back. And then this is the best you guys can do, and you feel that you're on top of the world. So what happens when all of these people start to fight back? So do you think that the Fulanis will be able to contain the other parts of Nigeria? They cannot. So the fact that the other people are being the bigger ones to give you people the chance to get wisdom and get sense, and you have refused to be wise, doesn't mean that they are foolish. So now you can see that the table is gradually turning. I think it has already turned, where the other parts are now standing up. So, but again, the other parts are wise, and they are the bigger people. Because what this man and every other northern elite should be talking about is actually calling this act of terrorism disgraceful and calling for the penalization of the people who are directly or indirectly involved in it. But no, they are terrorist sympathizers. They come to make a soft landing for them, like, oh, we have to integrate them into society, put them in the army, pay them, do this for them, do that for them. Where in Nigeria are these things being done for Nigerians? There is nowhere. So, but these people feel entitled just because. So I think if they refuse to be wise, as a normal human being should be, or think correctly, then they will have to go their own way, where the North can decide to bring in the Fulanis from this earth and outside of this earth. Then it wouldn't be anybody's problem. Then they can do that. They can do that because whatever they are doing is way beyond just bringing people from outside who we don't know. Bringing them in is not just bringing them in. It is for an agenda. And so far they've been doing it. They're doing it, and the world is saying this. And this is why the recent interest of America, of Israel, it is really valid. Because these people can see, even though Nigerians most of the time are very gullible, they really cannot express themselves, or they feel like, oh, we need a Messiah, we need someone to come and save us, stuff like that. So, but other people, they actually see us and they laugh. Because Nigerians haven't really been taking, proper notice to know that they are being killed until it was brought to their notice that you guys are being killed. So, but again, the time has passed where this narrative is being, can be considered. No one wants to hear this nonsense anymore. No one wants to hear it because whatever he just said doesn't make sense. And also to the journalists who interviewed him, this is one of the most unprofessional journalists or journalism that I have seen in my life. They ask him questions and then they help him to answer the questions. They feel scared. They can't even ask him direct questions. And he's very comfortable spewing nonsense from his mouth and talking about things which doesn't really make sense. That this will be the proper time for the Nigerian government to properly learn how to do documentation, and in terms of documenting people, this would be an opportunity, he said, for them to bring in criminals, to bring in terrorists, to bring in people who are not Nigerians. It's an opportunity for Nigeria. Can you listen to what he's saying? It is very annoying, but again, this is in the past because it's obviously an old video. There is no time for this anymore. They have to change this mentality, or things are going to go separately, where they have to go their way and the other people go their way. Because now is not the time for having conversations like this. Now is the time where every other country in the world are seriously working on themselves. They are building things, advancing their economy, doing a lot of things, taking care of their citizens. But these people are still, they live in ancient, they have ancient mentality. A mentality, he talked about it, like the Fulanis have the mindset of revenge. What is revenge? Evil, evil, evil. That is what it is. So you can't have people like this, people who think like this, and say that you want to coexist with other people. You have to have your own country, you have to have your own land, you have to have your own area where you will live, and let evil reign on you, reign evil on yourselves. Then no one is going to be bothered or talk about it. So, but when you live with other people who are really concerned about moving forward in life and yet you want to pull them back, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can see in the news that a lot of Muslims, especially the Muslim clerics, many of them, not all of them though, they've been crying. America launched this and Israel is talking about this. But when these terrorists have been killing Nigerians, they were nowhere to be found. And now it's time to apprehend these terrorists, and now they are crying. So you guys are really going to cry. So because the time has come for you to really cry. Other parts have been crying and you guys were feeling like the boss. Now it's time for you to cry, and you are going to cry for a long time until you decide to have sense and receive wisdom. Thank you.